I'm looking at the Grand Ole Opry House. I mean, it is. So that's how close we are.
It's just incredible. I was just there last night hosting our Sunday night Opry. And so I couldn't help myself. I had to sneak in last night just to look at everything. I had not seen it.
That Daryl Worley's a bad influence.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Hey, let's sneak in. What do you think?
Let's go see what it looks like. So I did. I came in and I was just blown away. This whole space is incredible, and I can't wait for everyone to see the studio, the proper studio. It's truly next level.
But we are under the watchful eye, as a part of the exhibit here, of George D. Hay, the solemn old judge.
I see
with
it.
his cigar. He's kind of like, no matter where we move in the room, he's looking at us.
His eyes follow.
And, of course, the National Life and Accident Insurance Company, where it all started, downtown Nashville, at the 7th and Union location, where TPAC is now. That was headquarters, and where the Grand Ole Opry was born, known as the Barn Dance, old-time tunes with Uncle Jimmy Thompson and the Judge early, and then old-time tunes from the studios that were there at National Life and Accident Insurance Company that we quickly outgrew and moved to different locations, Hillsborough Theater or Belcourt Theater, as you know it, the Dixie Tabernacle over in East Nashville, which is no more. It was on Fatherland Street, as I understand.
Okay.
Went to War Memorial Auditorium, where our behavior was so atrocious, they asked us to leave and gave us a tip on a church, that if any group of people ever needed church, it was us, and we should go there. So we went to the Union Gospel Tabernacle. You know it as the Ryman Auditorium, because it was officially named that at Captain Tom Ryman's funeral in 1904, Christmas Day in 1904, auspiciously. And we left there in 1974, and on March 16th of 74, we just celebrated 50 years at the Grand Ole Opry House.
Mm-hmm. And July 1st of 2024, we're in our new studio. That's pretty cool.
Roy Acuff, the earliest memories I have of WSM were stories from my father, who was born in 1922.
Okay.
So the first radio station he heard was WSM, Cotton Field Kid from North Alabama. And I can still hear him say, yes, that's Roy Acuff, or Uncle Dave Macon, Rod Brassfield, Minnie Pearl. You know, he'd tell, and he would quote these song titles to me as a kid. And he'd talk about Blood on the Highway, or Fireball Mail. She's Dallas bound, 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 Fireball Mail. Or The Great Speckled Bird from Roy Acuff's catalog. All these songs were Acuff songs. But the one we know most famously, and is known worldwide most famously, and was a ride at Opryland, USA, is Wabash Cannonball. Did you ever ride?
I didn't get to.
Never got to?
No.
Doggone it.
I know.
Sheltered life.
I missed it.
Kelly Sutton.
Hi.
Billy Boy. And you, thanks for being there. And Circle Country, all over the world now, circlecountry.com. You can link to your favorite streaming platform, or just watch at circlecountry.com. On the radio side, 650 AM WSM, terrestrial, that's 650 AM. Got a big old honking 50,000 watt tower to prove it. Or you can listen on the internet, stream us there, WSMonline.com. Eric Marcum, our general manager, he joins us now here on Coffee Country and
Good
Cody.
morning.
He's been to the top of the tower this morning.
Oh, good.
And
Yes.
look what he brought back.
I brought back the tower light from the very, very top. I made sure to double hook climbing up there.
Does the,
all of our-
Safety harness
Yes,
first.
safety
Yeah.
harness, yes.
Is the FAA aware that you have been taken the light from the top of the tower?
Absolutely not.
They get uptight about
they
it.
know that I went up there. I took my crescent wrench. I pulled that tower light down here and plugged it in to make sure that we had it with us on our very first broadcast here. 808 feet, if you were asking, to the very top of the tower. And
beautiful.
no, I did not. Yeah, but it is operable here inside the WSM exhibit, and we are so excited to make this our very first broadcast from the space. We're still buttoning up some incredible components. It's going to be state-of-the-art in the new facility. Very excited to put that on display, and I want to give a big shout-out to our engineers, our technical directors, everybody from top to bottom who have been burning the candle at both ends.
Including you.
Yes,
Yes,
including me.
absolutely.
And you squeezed in a family reunion this weekend somehow.
Yeah.
Still made it back.
Somehow, yeah. We made it there and back. But quite literally, the stories that we're going to be able to tell, just like the chief engineers that were involved into the launch of WSM nearly 100 years ago. Some stories that include, we took the 1925 horn that was broadcasting from the National Life and Insurance Building downtown at 5th and Union. We had it in the back of a Jeep, hauling it from our archive collections over at our Wendell building, drove it all the way through here at Opryland and loaded it in. We're working with the construction team to have that mounted up in the air. Things like that.
The National Life and Accident Insurance Company signed the big shield.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that in the
I saw it,
back.
and we don't have it up yet. It's one of those few pieces that we have yet to install.
You're talking about components of the Opry Entertainment Group archives that are the oldest pieces in our collection that we are going to get to put on display
Including
here.
microphones that we're looking at across the way. And
it's incredible. We've got letters over here with George D. Hayes' signature on them. There's a
about
fiddle.
about the passing of Hank Williams.
And there's a fiddle. I don't know if that is one of the original fiddles, but it is definitely one of our archive fiddles. I mean, it really is incredible to see what you guys have done. And kudos, because walking in here just a few weeks ago, none of this was in here. So getting it all put together and making it look incredible. Well done.
We are truly living a moment of history in this time, 40 years inside the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center, and then making it over here. And you want to talk about history. The original Jack DeWitt remote unit that was created for the very, very first remote broadcast is living within this exhibit. You're talking about 100 years of radio broadcast technology, but that for the very first time, we get to put on display for the public to see. But that would have been on a train as they were driving down, broadcasting to WSM, the first time somebody had ever taken a radio broadcast, not only out of the studio, but quite literally no lines connected whatsoever. And that was the first unit to do that. We have that on display.
And they did play-by-play on what they were seeing as they were getting closer to Nashville so that people realized that, hey, this is really happening.
This is real. Yeah. That
One
is incredible.
of the things that I loved is with the WSM personalities that have done various things over the years, with us traveling just this last Friday to Cross Plains and going through Trash and Treasures, you look back in the archives of photos of WSM personalities, all the fun stuff they've gotten to do. I saw a play-by-play photo of a cow getting milked with a DJ holding a WSM microphone. I said, by golly, we have hit the big time. We have done just the same kind of thing that we get to do.
Please don't get any ideas.
Charlie Mattos he's over at the production studio producing this morning. Charlie has milked a cow.
Oh.
Yeah.
He has churned butter.
Yeah.
He's done it all at Cross Plains Trash and Treasures.
I think he roped.
He did?
He was a roper at one point.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know that he roped.
Yes.
He threw a rope.
He threw a
Through
rope.
a
I
rope.
don't know if he was successful, as I recall. His attempt may have fallen
Right.
just a little short.
Well, and we should tell everybody too that this exhibit space is going to be a part of the tours. So if you come and you do, are they certain tours that they have to sign up for to be a part of this?
So if you come to the Grand Ole Opry House and take a tour of the Opry, you get that standard Opry tour ticket, you get access to the WSM exhibit space as part of that tour component.
that's
So it's open
cool.
Monday through Sunday between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. If you come and take a tour of the Opry, you get access to this facility. And people were worried at first. They were like, well, I've seen WSM on display, being
Yeah.
able to walk up and see broadcasts for over 40 years. Will that be a part of it? And absolutely. If you walk up to the plaza, you can look straight in. We have our own, what used to be the fishbowl inside the Opryland Hotel. This is more like the zoo. You know, you come up there, the windows are flat, so you can walk up and look at us. We're in our own exhibit. And then you can physically walk into the space and stand on the floor that we're broadcasting from and look straight into the space.
Okay, my mind is now racing about who is what in the zoo. And we can come up with our own animal assignments later, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty amazing that you're going to be able to watch it. And then we're going to have that huge flat screen outside as well.
Yes, a large exterior screen, 12 feet wide by 7 feet tall, and it'll simulcast some of the broadcasts that are happening live in the WSM studio out on that screen so the public can see it. And one of my favorite pieces, you want to talk about leaving no stone left unturned when it comes to thinking about the design, the technology, hearkening back to the past, is we were able to take stage wood from Ryman Auditorium that would have been from 1950 all the way up until when they replaced that stage in, I think, 2012. But the same section of wood that the center stage of the Grand Ole Opry House Circle is cut out of, we made a 9-foot by 6-foot platform stage. So anybody that comes in to experience and hang out with us and do an interview on WSM or perform on WSM will literally be standing on the stage where the circle was cut out of.
So
Do they know we stole that and brought it here?
You know what? We've kept that under wraps. We found the key.
better
we found
to
the
ask
key and we
for
found
forgiveness.
the wood. Yes.
Forgiveness instead of permission at this point.
And the tower story is actually a video roll
Yeah,
that will
it's
have
so
audio that goes with it in time that we're looking at from where we're sitting here this morning.
And you want to talk about the
incredible.
timeline of 1925 all the way to present day of different moments in time that quite literally include WSM's move to the Roy Acuff House in July of 2024, which is where we are, July 1st. And look at us. We've
so
even got
cool.
a moment in time where Bill Cody celebrates
I saw
30
that.
years on WSM radio.
It's unbelievable that he had passed away a couple of years before I got to town. 92, he passed. But he moved in here in 84, which
Yeah.
was the same year that we moved in the WSM studio or the Magnolia Lobby, which I thought was interesting. The Opry House is 50 years old this year, back in March. And to have been a part of this for 30 years and to have known him, both he and Minnie, in coming here from San Antonio through the years, do remote broadcasts 2 or 3 times a year, fanfare, CMAs, and that kind of thing. It makes it all the more special.
I want to give a quick shout out to our chief engineers, our technical directors, our project managers, Shaw Flippin and his team working with Beach Construction. You've got Joel Wilson and Jeff Roberts. You've, of course, been hearing their names for years on Coffee Country and Cody. Every single morning when they flip that switch, Joel and Jeff have been the ones in the chairs. They're also the ones here on site helping set up lights, cameras, action, getting us ready to go. And, of course, nearly 20 years, our chief engineer, Jason Cooper, and Nate Smith have been burning the candle at both ends to get us moved over.
They
We
were
have
here
quite
last night.
literally, all through the night to get us from one home to the other. When we went dark on that final day in Coffee Country and Cody, 10 o'clock hit, we were in there pulling things, pulling cables, pulling lights, pulling microphones.
Every person for themselves.
That's right.
And of
And-
course, our vice president of production, Martin Fisher, who has been leading the charge, making sure that no stone is left unturned. We're thinking about every single component from the state-of-the-art technology to how people are going to be watching this in the future, how Coffee Country and Cody is displayed, and how WSM is presented to the public as a forward-facing exhibit piece as
Yeah.
well as a live broadcast component.
And
It's
Andy
incredible.
Nye, our studio director here this morning, Charlie producing back in the studio, and he mentioned Martin, our vice president, director of production. He is holding a 2x4. All of a sudden, he has walked in.
He saw
into
something
my,
he needs to
my
fix.
line of sight with a 2x4 in his hand. I don't know what.
He's fixing something. He saw something out of the corner of
he's
his
gonna
eye.
fix
He's
something.
going to go fix something. He's like, wait, that looks a little crooked.
How far back does that microphone go that's displayed in that case, Eric? Do
You know,
have any idea?
these are the components that I'm really excited to learn about. So Emily Franz and Tim over with the Opry Archives are going to be coming in and giving us the story on all of these components, from the fiddle to the horn there, to the microphones, to the remote unit. I'm really excited to see this exhibit come to life. But you're talking 100 years of history. I don't know all of it right now, but I'm excited to learn.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And it's all going on this morning in the inaugural Coffee Country and Cody broadcast from the Acuff House on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza.